Okay, we're gonna start lesson 13. So in the first section, we're gonna look at appearance panel. We've been using the appearance tab in the properties to change fill and stroke, but we can also change them in using the appearance panel. With the appearance panel, you can also add more colors, on top of them, sort of to give. So this appearance panel also gives you more options when it comes to applying colors and strokes or whatever. So let's look at it. In the appearance panel, this one says what type of object it is, path, and what stroke is applied. So the selected fill and effect, if an effect is applied, and opacity. So this is adding so we can add on top of this object, we can also add another stroke. We can also add another fill. So we can add another effect. We can just clear everything. So this will just clear it. We can go to undo clear. So that something selected, we can duplicate it. So that will create underneath it. We can go ahead and delete it. Okay, now we're gonna look at the basic usage of the appearance panel. So we're gonna change the fill color of this shape. So we're gonna click on it. So this all right. So when we click on it, it opens a swatch panel. So we're supposed to select the aqua. Where is it? It's a cyan. So this is not technically the swatches panel, right? Although it kind of looks like a swatch panel. Anyway, we're gonna select okay, that's not the color. Maybe this. Anyway, we're gonna just select some color. So that's how you select the color from the appearance panel. You can also select the stroke to sort of remove it or increase it. And then you also can hide an effect. If you wanted to, you can just go ahead and delete the effect. Okay, so one easy way to make your artwork really look great is by adding fill on top of another and adding textures or patterns. So we're gonna go to our appearance panel, and then we're gonna add another fill, and we're gonna add a pattern to it. So when we click this button, right, when nothing is selected, usually when something is selected, it will create whatever this fill or stroke beneath that. If nothing is selected, it creates on top. So we're gonna change the color fill to this. So that just creates this some sort of like lines or something. All right, that's pretty much it. So if we select it, for example, so I'm gonna wait a minute. I'm gonna delete it, and with the fill selected, if I duplicate it or just click this, it will create underneath the fill color. And then when we select it, so the fill, whatever this pattern is beneath the fill color, we can just drag it on top to make it appear on top. Okay, we're gonna use the appearance panel to add some jazz to the text. So we're gonna just assume where you can just select the text and then go to appearance panel and add some fill, stroke or something. But if we do that, the fill add buttons are grayed out. So instead, you need to select the type object and then go to appearance panel to add new stroke or something, or double click it and then select the text and then go to appearance panel and then click again. So that didn't work. So again, go to this type appearance. I think it selects the characters or something. So type character, opacity, the fill color is this. I don't know why. So anchor point. Anyway, you need to select the type object inside of the individual character to start adding some stuff. Select deselector. We're gonna select the object, go to appearance panel. Weird. It has a pink stroke, but I don't know why it looks like this. Undo. So it says it's a character. When we go to character, we can select fill, but we can add a color. So when we add a color, it says on top, and then let's select a pattern. So we apply a pattern, and we can click on the opacity of the fill to change the opacity, and then we can add a stroke on top of that one, change it to a white. We can also add another one. Maybe can we go to more option and then change to maybe the corner align stroke, align stroke to inside, align these are not well visible, so I can't apply this. So we can add another stroke, hide them, change the color to something like this. We can make it to appear. So I'm going to show you again how to rearrange the attributes. Just select them and just drag around and lift to just rearrange the attributes. Okay, now we're gonna look at how to add an effect. So first, let's look at where to find effects. So there are different ways you can find effects. For example, on top there's effect, there is illustrator effects and Photoshop effects. So these are like for vectors, bitmap, or whatever. I believe most of the time you can just apply them to whatever shape you have, be it vector or raster. Vector and raster are the same. Anyway, we're gonna add drop shadow, that effect. You might have seen the drop shadow effect before, I think. So we're gonna add the drop shadow effect to this I don't know, weird looking thingy. First we're gonna group it, and then you can either go to appearance panel or go to effects, I think. So we're gonna just go to appearance panel and then select the add new effect, and here we're gonna search for stylize and drop shadow, and you can play around with these settings. And so I'm gonna just click OK. So that creates sort of this drop shadow. Just look at it. Although you can sort of clearly see pixels, I don't know, maybe when we export it, it will go away. So there's the option for blur, so 0 inch, so everything is in inches. We can edit the drop shadow by just, there's option for the drop shadow here, or we can go to the appearance panel and then clicking on the drop shadow and then changing the offset or whatever. All right, next we're gonna apply drop shadow to the text. Go to appearance panel, and then you can select the stroke and click add new effect and apply a drop shadow. So that adds a very subtle drop shadow. You can increase the opacity to sort of see. So we can also change the you can now clearly see the drop shadow. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Drop shadow are really subtle, so it's supposed to be like a shadow. So I'm just gonna, just to demonstrate, I'm just gonna leave it like this. So what we did is essentially in the stroke, right? Instead of adding this stroke, we applied a drop shadow to that, and the drop shadow it's actually black. I don't know why it's that. You can also probably change the color. In any case, that's just with appearance panel, like you can really mess around and add stuff, add really some good effects and stuff. All right, we're gonna add another effect, warp, to the text. Let's go to appearance panel, and also I'm gonna just make the blur um change the blur to, the color to it black again. Make it right. So we need to apply the arc effect. We saw previously how to do it. It's like probably going to object. um, I don't know, maybe this text warp. That's text wrap. So I don't know. I actually forgot that one. You can also apply the warp effect using the appearance panel. So we're gonna select the text and go to appearance panel. Well, to add that warp effect, you need to select the overall text. So to selecting the overall text, instead of like uh, going to the selection tool and selecting every letters, you can just click on the type and click on add new effect, and here there's warp effect, and you can just go to arc upper. That will create something like that, and you can just play around with the bend. So the one thing using appearance panel, instead of like applying the effect directly, so you can easily hide the effect. Okay, we're gonna click OK, and if we click on the eye icon, it will not apply that effect. So you can quickly do that. Now we can just go ahead, and if we wanted to edit something without getting the effect getting in the way, we can do that and then apply that effect again. Select deselect to see everything. Looks something like this. You can also just change, player with a different effect or something. Right, next we're gonna apply a Photoshop effect to these flames. So we're gonna just select both of them and then go to effects. In the texture, we're gonna select grain, and this opens up this option. You can press the plus icon to zoom it. All right, there are a lot of grains options. What is this? Artistic. So these are like libraries or something. Distort. Texture, stylize, sketch. You can also play around with intensity and contrast. Grain type, regular, soft, sprinkles, clumped, contrast. What is this? Contrasty, enlarged, slipped, horizontal, vertical. So these are the effect, the grain effect, right? So these are the effects applied to this object, but we can we apply another grain on top of this one? So I'm going to click OK. And in the appearance panel, we're going to duplicate it. But, so what we're going to do is just add another one. So it looks some sort of like this. And go to the opacity panel. And so where's the opacity panel for this one? So this one doesn't have any opacity panel. So just intensity. I don't see the opacity panel for this one. In any case, we're just gonna delete it, I guess. So if you look at it, it's very pixelated. So instead, you make it have more pixels, a resolution. Maybe we need to click on document raster effect settings and change the resolution to high and click OK. So that will make it something like this. You can change it back to something low when you are working. So your Photoshop doesn't crash or something.